Another point to emphasize about construction. What's wrong with this picture? Take a look at the size of the temple built on the original platform. Notice it's totally out of proportion. The original platform is just too small. See its dimensions. But what's this outer overlay, which was done often as frequently as every cartoon, ka 20 in Mayan and tun year, made it much larger. This was routine. Larger buildings are more imposing, they look better and more impressive. This was mostly removed so that you could see the original. Most visitors to this site, if it wasn't pointed out, would think that was the original temple built on the original platform. It wasn't. Notice that the mode of construction of the overlay is identical to the temple of the 7 dolls sitting on the original platform. If this was fully extended, the platform would be much larger. The problem was that that original temple was then disproportionately too small. That's why it was removed, and a larger proportionate temple, one that fit relative to the base it was on now, had to be built. And the culture, the phase of the culture changed, and the overlay and the new temple were more pook than the original. They came later. And since the style of construction is so different, much later. If you look at the base of these original temples, they're built the same way as the original base here. The fact that that temple, the new one, is oriented east of north tells us that after this overlay and the new temple were built, the site still functioned. It wouldn't have been worth the effort otherwise. All of this was done prior to the cardinal shift and gives us an enormous amount of implication, both direct and indirect, about the consequences of that shift. None of which would be quite as evident if it weren't for Angular Chronology. Eventually, we'll be back here again with a tripod and do this more professionally. But we wanted this research-based website, because it mentions Dzibilchaltun, to give you some basic information of why this site is so important.